Hey everyone, how's it going? My name is Elias and today I will be doing a reading vlog for you guys. Just gonna go ahead and go straight into it. Yeah, let's not do that. Hey everyone, how's it going? My name is Elias and today's video is going to be a reading vlog. So I will be attempting to read all 3 books in the Ember and the Ashes trilogy. Quartet, saga, cycle. Well, it's 4 books, and I have already finished reading the first 2 books in the series. I want to reread the first 2 books just because it's been such a long time, and get to the 3rd book in preparation for the 4th and final book coming out in December. Before we get started, though, I also want to mention that I am partnering up with Penguin Tween. I was about to say Penguin Tween. Penguin Tween. Penguin Teen. Penguin Teen. It's a mouth twister. Okay. Before we get started, I would like to mention that I am partnering up with Penguin. Oh my god, what is happening? So before we get started, I would like to mention that I am partnering up with Penguin Teen for this video. So I'm participating in what is known as the Ember Read-Along, in preparation for the 4th and final book coming out in December. I remember the first book completely took me by surprise. This is one of those books where I never heard anything about it. I went to Barnes & Noble. This was like my very early days on BookTube. And I saw the cover, and I was like, wow. It was love at first sight, and you know what? This is one of the first books I bought because of the cover, and I loved everything about it. So if you guys don't know what the series is about, that's a crime. I really think that this series is criminally underrated and not talked about enough. There's one main character, his name is Elias. Very similar to my name. No, there's no coincidence between his name and my name, Elias. I have 2 L's. His name has 1 L. So this series primarily follows these 2 groups, these 2 factions, called the Marshals and the Scholars. And the Marshals are the oppressors. So the Scholars are secretly fighting back with the, resistance. And they send in a young girl in exchange to help rescue her brother, who has been arrested and taken prisoner by the Marshals. She goes to spy the Marshals in their greatest military academy. And while there, she also uncovers deadly secrets and political warfare. And she also falls in love because, can't do a fantasy without love. So one of the most unique things about this whole series that I really loved is that it's based off on the Roman Empire. I will be doing a reading vlog for all of the books. I believe each book is around 450 pages. So we're going to go ahead and go straight into that. So just a reading update. Another thing I forgot to mention about the series is that this is one of the fantasy series where it's a lot darker than most YA fantasies. Everyone is also like a little bit older than the usual YA character. There are primarily 3 main characters that we follow. If you're trying to get into like fantasy, high fantasy, I feel like this is one of the best fantasies to start with. So just a little tidbit on that. So I read for around 45 minutes and I decided to take a little break. Anyone ever played this game before? It's called Ori and the Willow... What is it called? Ori and the Willow of Wisps. Right there. This game right here. Oh yeah, you guys can also see some of the games that I play. But this game, honestly, is so beautiful and magical. Highly, definitely recommend it if you guys are looking for, something calming and just, honestly, just a beautiful game in general. Okay, so I just wanted to do just a really quick announcement. So, if you guys didn't know already, I am co-hosting a book club with 2 other friends. For the month of October, we are reading The Secret History by Donna Tartt. This book is probably one of the oldest books on my TBR. It's been on there, I don't know, since forever ago, and I finally now have the chance and the excuse to finally read it. We're reading it for the month of October, and I will be hosting the live show on my channel at the end of the month. Date and time still to be determined, but hope you guys will join us for the month of October in reading The Secret History. I thought it was perfect for October, because spooky, Halloween. It's a dark academia, and it has a good murder, mystery, pretentious people who are trying to speak Latin and discussing philosophy and everything like that. So if that sounds up your alley, go get yourself a copy so you guys can read and join us for the month of October. Okay, now that self-promo is over, let's go ahead and go straight into reading again. Alright, so just a quick update. Just finished eating dinner, as you all saw, and I am currently 75 pages in the first book, in The Ember and the Ashes. I forgot how good this book is. Honestly, even 5 years later, and it's still holding up. I'm glad that I don't remember as much as I did, because I've actually been surprised by, like, a few things already. So, pretty excited to see how this goes. Like, the second book, I completely forgot even what happens. So, I'm pretty pumped as to what's gonna unfold. I do have a general plan for these books in the order that I'm reading them. So the first book I'm hoping to finish by today. It is September 22nd, Tuesday, and it's 6:40 p.m. Hopefully I'll be finishing it, late into the night. And the second book I will be reading on Wednesday, finish that, and then the third book on Thursday, and then I will finally read the book club book. I haven't even started my book club book yet. That's what's going for me. And I had the live show the day after. So, it's gonna go ahead and continue reading. I won't update too much on the first books. I kind of want to get my reaction from the third book because I know absolutely nothing about the third book. So, anyways, I will talk to you guys later. Hey everyone, just a quick update. Today is Wednesday, September 23rd. I finished Ember and the Ashes last night. I stayed up like till 3 a.m. finishing this book. 5 years later, does it still hold up? Where was I? Does it still hold up 5 years later? I think it does. However, I gave this book 5 stars when it first came out and I finished reading it. Now, upon rereading it, I think I'm giving it a 4 out of 5. It's still a good rating. However, there were just some things, I don't know, that bothered me more than I first read it. There were some certain character choices and actions that they made that I was just really frustrated with, especially with the two main characters. There were just some things that I felt could have been avoided if they just talked to each other. Miscommunication, it's one of my, most pet peeve when it comes to, books. When characters just don't listen to each other, they're angry and then they say, the wrong things. I mean, it's just my biggest pet peeve when it comes to certain characters, not just telling each other, hey, don't do this, because later in, chapter, 63, you're going to end up regretting that choice you made or whatever, or, holding back a secret that could have helped the story or the character progress or whatnot. I forgot how much darker and more intense this YA fantasy is compared to a lot of other YA fantasies, especially ones that have debuted in the past couple of years or so. I feel like the fantasy in this book was really quiet and really small. It just made the book more interesting than if it was a full-blown fantasy book. And on top of that, I've actually started A Torch Against the Night already, and I am roughly halfway through. So I'm hoping to finish this book by today so that I can get to some parts of the third book, because this is the book I haven't yet read and the book I'm aiming to read and finish. So thoughts so far about this book. So far, the stakes are a little higher than the first book, and it's not as slow. It picks off right after the first book left off, and the game is a little more intense now, and everything's just a little bit higher. The love triangle, I feel honestly, it's sort of like a love quartet in a way, which is really interesting when I first read it because it's one of the first love quartets I've ever read about. But reading it now, I'm just I'm not really invested as much anymore. I know certain characters. It's just endgame. You just have this vibe that two characters are going to end up together. So the love quartet is a little far-fetched for me, in my opinion. I remember giving this book 5 out of 5 stars when I finished reading it. So we'll see after this reread. I don't know yet. So with that being said, we're going to go ahead and continue reading. Just wanted to quickly show you guys some of the books that I've been storing on my bookshelf. I didn't want to leave them on the floor, so I just basically double stacked the books on sort of half of the edge. Paperbacks are okay, but some of the hardcovers, as you can see over there, they're hanging in on there. So bookshelf organization video coming soon. Okay, so quick update. I just finished Torch Against the Night, and it's currently 6 p.m. I am going to go ahead and dive straight into Reaper of the Gates, because This one actually took me by surprise, even though I already read it. I forgot so much about it. And honestly, as far as sequels go, this one takes the cake. It was so good. Infinitely better than the first book. Again, I gave it 5 out of 5 stars when I first read it. Another 5 out of 5 stars. I'm saying all these cliche things, but I don't want to give away any spoilers because it's a sequel. So there was a plot twist in here that I forgot happened, and when it happened, I screamed. It was so good. This book did not hold back. It was a lot darker, a lot bloodier, and just more intense than the first book. Super chaotic. It was just great. So 5 out of 5 stars, and I can't wait to dive into the third one, because honestly, that is what we're all here for, is me finding out everything that happens in this one before the fourth and final book comes out. So I'm really excited. So dreams have been made. Spicy chicken nuggets. They're a thing now. Just to clarify, so I swear I'm healthier than this. It's not just a cup of noodles or McDonald's or fast foods every other day. It's just one of those days when I heard about the spicy chicken nuggets. It was today. I just had to get them. And honestly, worth it. If you haven't tried the spicy chicken nuggets, I would highly suggest you go and try them out. Now with dinner just being out of the way, literally today all I did was read and not complaining, but I'm pretty excited to get into Reaper of the Gates. So. Hello. So just a quick update. It's currently 1:34 in the morning on Thursday, September 24th. I have about this much left for Reaper at the Gates. So far, so good. I will say though, I feel like this book has a lot of preparation going for it, just because I feel like in the last and final book, there's going to be an epic showdown, a huge battle. So while not saying that this book is bad or lesser in any way, it's just there aren't a lot of things going for it, but still good. So we'll see though, because things are amping up towards the end, and I only have about, I want to say 100 pages left. I guess I'm finishing this tonight. Update you guys on that later. Hello everyone, last update. So I finished The Reaper of the Gates last night, and I wanted to just formulate my thoughts, like in the past, I don't know, 6 hours or so since I last read this book. And honestly, can you guys already guess what my rating is for this book? So the final rating that I'm giving this book is 5 out of freaking 5 stars. This was beautifully perfect. You know how I said it was sort of like a preparatory novel, something, you know, the calm before the storm. And in a way it is. There's some, you know, tension, like creepingly along, and you know it's gonna hit when the fourth book comes out, but no. In the last literally 150 pages of this book, everything just went out of the ballpark. Everything just coalesced into a boiling point, and I am so excited to see how it all just basically folds all together in the last and final book. I was so shocked at some of the things that happened, and this book did not hold back. In terms of like violence, like the darkness, the tension, the characters. One of my favorite things to see in like especially fantasy books are when you're reading about different POVs and different characters in different parts of the world, and for an unexplained reason or whatever, they all converge at some point in the novel. And these different characters, you know, you're excited to meet these other characters. When they're all together in the same location, you know, so many things can happen. Fights, their demeanor towards each other, their relationships, their dynamics, sparks, everything. It was just perfect. I loved it. I cannot wait to see how these sort of relationships unfolds in the next book and how it all turns out, because it surprised me in the best way possible. So I'm really excited to see, you know, just how it all ends in the fourth book. If you guys haven't already picked up the series, criminally underrated. It's a crime. You guys, literally, it's a lot darker than I feel like than a lot of like YA other fantasies, but not as intimidating or discouraging as other high adult fantasies. Also, one of the main things why I love this series so much is that it's an own voices fantasy novel with a South Asian main character. The backdrop and the setting itself is infused with Roman ancient empire, with jinns, ifrits, and wraiths. It's bloody, it's gory, the stakes are high, it's chaotic. The story itself is just incredible. The writing is on point. If that's not the selling point, I don't know what is. So overall, in the end, this reread was a blessing in disguise. Like, there were so many things I enjoyed about it, so many characters that I just, came to revisit the worlds, and I just found myself to have a really great time reading the series overall, especially with the third book. Who knows, maybe I might do another reading vlog for the fourth and final book, so it's complete. But let me know down in the comments below if you guys have read the series, if you guys picked up the series, if you guys even plan on picking up the series. So yeah, with that being said, thanks for watching, and I will see you guys all soon with a new video.